way. Even though it's the similar use of an ex-bourbon barrel like a lot of other scotches. But I would tell someone, hey, you love bourbon and you're not so keen on, you want to try to move into scotch, that American oak is a great place to start.
So I have a question for you, Fred. So if we're all Scotch traditionalists,
yes,
we love the Scotch, why are they so much trying to age it in American wood?
I think it. I'll tell you this. Because it adds a sweetness that they're not going to get if they were not using the American oak. It has a combination with the fact that the way we like the charring of the American oak. So there's a lot of sweetness that charring of the American oak, that process that we do with our bourbons, adds a lot of vanilla and sweetness. So if you make a scotch and don't introduce that American oak in that charring process, what you're losing is that little added vanilla-y taste. But that's why bourbon is different from scotch, because it's all of that vanilla caramel taste. But it brings that in some.
Is the Yankee economy? If we can create that taste for the Yankees, we will buy it.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm seeing what's going on.
Yes. So, because the notes that you get, just scotch with the single malt, the barley, and usually they're using used sherry casks. Everything's a lot more fruity, but you can introduce that vanilla caramel taste and everything like that. So anyways, moving along, we're finally getting on a little boat, and we are heading to the Isla. We're heading to Isla. It looks like Islay, but it is pronounced Isla.
They make a tremendous chip-chop ham.
And and so some interesting things about that is the wrong my textbook. I was looking at the wrong textbook here. So let's see. Isla. It is the southernmost island.
You know why they kicked out the Comans?
Of Scotland. It lies just southwest of Jura, which we are going to get to on this trip.
You sure that's not Isley's?
Mm-hmm. Isley's chipped ham. It's the 5th largest Scottish island and the 7th largest island surrounding Great Britain. And there is ample evidence of the prehistoric settlement of Isla, and the first written reference may have come in the 1st century A.D. So lots of history here in Isla. But we all know what Isla is really well known for, and that is their peaty scotches, and of course Lagavulin. Lagavulin is a very fun. It's peaty.
Smell it.
Dan wants to smell it. Yeah, so this one's peaty. It's the one I won't do Ardbeg. So now here's the interesting thing with peat. I was telling our other Scottish friend Doug this earlier. You can look up online. There's some interesting blogs out there, but they do have a measurement for the amount of peat characteristics in a Scot, and it's measured like parts per million. But there is a specific measurement that measures the amount of peat, and the biggest offender really Ardbeg. That's the one I just can't do. This Lagavulin is peaty, but it's very, very earthy, woody. It's very smoky aroma. But I actually have kind of grown fond of this. This is the peat one that I'll turn to. Now another one, while we're on Isla here. This is one that I've avoided for a while, Lefroy. So we're coming around. There we go. We're swinging that way. Now, I've avoided Lefroy. This will be the first time I've tried Lefroy.
Okay, Fred.
Yeah, I didn't like peat at first. I didn't like the peat scotch. Then I went to Scotland and was kind of embraced it a little bit more. I started with the Isle of Skye Talisker.
You mean stealing?
No. Oh, no. But let's see. Let's compare
Ripping
this.
It out of fields, maybe?
Now, what's interesting, comparing this to Lagavulin, there's not as much smoke on the nose. Oh, it's way different. It has a peaty taste, but it's a completely different whiskey. And it's not nearly as peaty, actually. Lefroy's actually not that strong.
It's not that strong to the smell.
No, I mean, especially coming after Lagavulin. It's actually not as peaty as I thought, so maybe I won't stay away from it so much anymore. But anyways, that's it for our trip on Isla. We got 2 more trips left on our little journey here. We're heading to Jura, which is an awesome little island of Jura next.
The island of Jura. Can I tell you about that, Scott?
Please tell us about that place, that island.
His name's Fred, right? Fred.
Sometimes.
10-minute countdown, guys. 10-minute countdown.
Jura.
Jura.
So it's an island of the Inner Hebrides of Scotland. It's adjacent to and to the northeast of Isleys, or as they say in Pittsburgh, it's up the street from Isleys.
Isleys.
So it's rather sad what it says here about the island of Jura compared to its fertile and more populous neighbor. Jura is mountainous, barren, infertile.
Yeah, they're hard workers. You talk the people up in Scotland, the people who work in live in the Highlands. They're hard, but Jura is a tough little place to live.
It's barren and fertile.
Yep.
We should send him some Viagra or something.
Yeah.
It's covered by largely the vast areas of blanket bog.
Ooh. That would look nice in the morning.
Hence its small population. But it is in the council area of Argyll.
Oh, that's right.
Argyll.
So they make some
That's
fine
right.
socks there.
That's right.
And they make some fine whiskey there.
Oh, do they now?
To
Really?
go with the Argyll socks.
So, and it just happens to be called a Jura. I mentioned earlier the white Dalmore. So the white Mackay. Jura also falls under Richard Patterson White Mackay as well.
Ah.
So what do you think of this? I love this one.
So I was a little bit afraid to test it because I don't like a peaty scotch.
Right, and this is near Isla. So at first glance you think, oh boy, this is on Isla,
I mean, if it was
nearby.
if it was going to be like Ardbeg or Lefroy, I wouldn't have enjoyed it. But I'm not getting the peat at all.
This is not a peat. And you know what? The other Joras, this is the starter, the main Jora, where you start. There's no peat to this one. Other ones do, but this one's fabulous, and it's very
Really
inexpensive. It's only like $44. In terms of what Scotch costs, it's
a
like
great bang for your buck.
$44.
It's a very nice Scotch. It's I would say a tad bit stronger than some of the others that we've tried, but it's not at all overpowering.
No, it
It's very
has some
smooth.
body. So, and if you're looking for Scotch, like if you want something more than just a very simple like Glenlivet or Dalwhinnie, you want something that's good, has some sweetness, but body. That Jora is fat. I love it.
I agree with that 100%, sir.
All right. Well, we got one more stop on our trip. We're going up to, and I don't need no paper because we're heading up to the Isle of Skye, and I stayed in the Isle of Skye for a few days. I just a few months ago I visited the Isle of Skye. They have one whiskey distillery there. That is Talisker. The Isle of Skye's pretty neat. We did have to you can get there 2 ways. You can cross the Skye Bridge, or you can go put your boat on a car, or put your car on a boat, which is what we did. We put our car on a boat, and
It's easier that way.
yeah, it was a pretty scary ride actually. But we made it to the Isle of Skye. It's famous. It's beautiful landscape. If you're a photographer and you're going to Scotland, you want to take some breathtaking pictures. That's the place to go. They have the.
Do you have trouble with that large curve getting into town? What they call it, the Sky Hook, I think.
This is going right over my head. I'm not getting it. I don't.
It's a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
Oh,
It's bad humor.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a Jackie Moon
It
reference.
involve basketball. Obviously, you're not a golfer. So that's the Big Lebowski reference. Which
I
but
thought that movie was about bowling.
Isle of Skye, exactly. Isle of Skye has the Old Man Store, the fairy glens, the fairy pools, a lot of beauty there. But they have
fairies in Scotland.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful place. And they have one whiskey distillery. So they have Talisker. Now, Talisker is a little bit peaty, but not... What's that?
This is Talisker.
Oh, what is it? Oh, that's right. This is still my Lefroy. Thank you. Okay, because I was going to say that's
I was
not
drinking
right.
your Talisker.
So Talisker has a little bit of the peatiness going on, too, but it's
subtle.
It's subtle. It's not as much as the Isla. So I'd say to people, if you're getting into Scotch and you want to see if you like peat, you want to try something with a little bit of peat, but you're not ready to jump onto the Isle of Skye, Talisker. So just start with Talisker. They have one. This is just called Talisker. It's their main line. They do have one that's called Isle of Skye. So as you kind of move up, they get a little bit more peaty, but this is the starter. It's just a subtle peat. And actually, this is one of those ones like some of the Islas. People will talk about whiskeys and they'll talk about the effect that the ocean has, the spray of the ocean, the smell of the salt coming in, how it affects the earth and the water. You take a whiff of Talisker, even look at the box. What's on the box? The ocean.
The ocean.
And I'm not kidding.
It's on the box.
The ocean really does come through. You take a whiff of this, and it's that ocean, that sea salt. But on the taste, it still has a nice fruity taste with just a hint of smoke. It's delicious. I love Talisker at this point. So, anyways, guys, that's our trip.
That was a lot of fun, lad.
Did you have fun?
I feel like I've been around the island.
You had a good time?
My head is spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's so much to take in.
So I hope that you guys enjoyed learning so much about these amazing towns in Scotland.
Can I add one
Please,
Scottish fact?
Please.
I did listen to your podcasts, which are always awesome.
Yeah.
And you talked about Charleston.
Yes.
And not once in your podcast did you mention the Citadel.
Yes, go ahead.
Which is how they pronounce it down there. Up here, we Yankees call it Citadel.
Mm-hmm.
Down there, it's the Citadel.
Mm.
The Citadel has applied to Scotland. They have their own tartan plaid.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
No.
They have their own pipe band.
Oh.
So it is a Scottish school in South Carolina.
And your son goes there.
And
We're
my
allowed to
son
say
goes
that, right?
there.
That's okay, right? I
That
just
is.
said it.
Yeah, it's out there.
Okay.
Check my Facebook.
Check Dan's Facebook.
Yeah.
Brad's
Brad is down there.
at the Citadel.
Citadel.
All right.
Is that really how you pronounce it?
That's how they pronounce it down there.
Is there a way we can check that out?
Well, do you have any final Scottish words of wisdom for us?
Ilmok sicker.
Oh, Ilmoxicker. So you know what? With that,
So, to end,
yes.
Doug's reference, his family's famous moment in Braveheart was
Yeah.
when they left the battlefield.
Yes.
My family's famous moment.
Mhm.
And do you remember when they all turned their backs and mooned?
Yes.
Yeah, that was my family. We did that.
So it was the Galbraith booty.
Here, let
I
me.
thought that was
let me
the
show you,
Irish.
Oh,
Brad.
show us, Dan.
Let me recreate.
Oh, thanks, Dan. Well, with that, I'm sorry you guys at home missed that, but thanks for tuning in once again. And us three Scottish guys are going to go do another tour. Thanks very much. Have a good night. See you soon.